morning. So now in today's class we will start the third method of converting an analog filter transfer function into a digital filter transfer function, that is bilinear transformation. Okay, design of IIR filters using bilinear transformation. This method is a very important method. In the examination also you will get problems on this bilinear transformation. Now we will see how to convert an analog filter transfer function to digital filter transfer function using bilinear transformation method. Okay, so first we will see what is a bilinear transformation. So bilinear transformation means it is a conformal mapping, means one time mapping from S plane to Z plane. Okay, bilinear transformation means it is a conformal mapping that transforms j omega axis. What is this j omega axis? J omega axis means S plane. It represents S plane. Okay, so in the S plane we have a j omega axis. This is a sigma and this is j omega axis, like this, sigma j omega axis. So therefore conformal mapping is a one-time mapping that transforms this j omega axis into unit circle. Okay, j omega axis into unit circle in the Z plane. Okay, so in the Z plane we have a unit circle and the circle of radius r is equal to 1. So therefore mapping this j omega axis into the unit circle is actually a conformal mapping, one-time mapping. That is what is called bilinear transformation method. Okay, this is a very popular method to design the digital IIR filters. Now see h of s. Here this is some transfer function, analog filter transfer function. Okay, let us consider this analog filter transfer function. H of s is equal to some b by s plus a. Now what is the meaning of that? You have a pole at s is equal to minus a. You have one pole. This is a one pole transfer function. So that is a pole is located at s is equal to minus a. Now, so the equivalent digital filter transfer function is given by this. Okay, in the place of s we write z. But here you see this is important point. So now this s is replaced by 2 by t 1 plus z inverse divided by 1 minus z inverse divided by 1 plus z inverse. So therefore, s is equal to this one. S is equal to 2 by t 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse. Okay, that is actually mapping from S plane to Z plane. Wherever, suppose if you have S, in the place of S you write down 2 by t 1 minus z inverse divided by 1 plus z inverse. You can get this relation. So by deriving some equation, that is not important for us. Simply you understand that. So what is replaced for S? So if you replace S by 2 by t 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse, then so that is a digital representation, digital filter transformation and transfer function. Now, so we will see mapping S plane to Z plane. As we know already, Z is equal to R into e power j omega in the polar form. S is equal to sigma plus j omega. Okay. Now this S is 2 by t 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse. Now see, inside the bracket you multiply by z in order to get some required form. Okay, that is when you multiply 1 minus z inverse, is this 1 minus z inverse by z, then what you will get? You will get z minus 1. Okay, that's what is written here. In the same way, you will get, if you multiply by z, you will get z plus 1. So therefore, so if you substitute s is equal to 2 by t into z minus 1 by z plus 1, then you will get the equivalent digital filter transfer function. Okay. Now what we do is we substitute z is equal to r into e power j omega. That is what is mapping from one plane to another plane. So therefore s is there, s is 2 by t, z is r into e power j omega minus 1. So z again r in the power j omega plus 1. Now s value is taken. So that s is 2 by t r in the power j omega minus 1. So r in the power j omega plus 1. Now see, if you simplify this, e power j omega is equal to cos omega plus j sin omega. Okay, if you multiply that by r, then what you will get? R cos omega j r sin omega. You will get this. In the denominator also you will get, so r into cos omega plus j r into sin omega you will get. And if you simplify that further, if you simplify this further, then what you will get is, so 2 by t, so r square minus 1 divided by 1 plus r square 2r cos omega plus j. This, the idea is separating the real part and imaginary parts. Okay, separating, see, because we need the real and imaginary parts. Okay, that is why in that sense we are writing this. So s is equal to 2 by t and this r square minus 1 divided by 1 plus r square 2r cos omega plus j 2r sin omega divided by, sorry, this is r sin omega. Sorry, j is also there. Okay, so r sin omega. Now you can clearly observe this. See, 2 by t r square minus 1 divided by 1 plus r square 2r cos omega plus j 2r sin omega divided by r sin omega. Now see, what is, so this one is the real part and this is the imaginary part. So therefore we can write sigma, because s is equal to sigma plus j omega, we know this, s is equal to sigma plus j omega. So therefore sigma is equal to 2 by t r square minus 1 divided by 1 plus r square 2r cos omega. Okay, in the same way sigma is equal to 2 by t 2r sin omega divided by, this is right here 1 plus r square 2r cos omega. Okay, 1 plus r square 2r cos omega. Now what happens is, now we have to see the three different cases. Now if r is less than or equal to 1, if r is less than or equal to less than 1, suppose it is less than 1, then what happens? Sigma is less than 0. See, r less than 0 means negative values of sigma. Then, so if you substitute negative values here, then what happens is, you will get a, suppose if you have a any negative value, then you will get, what happens is, sigma is less than 0, negative values of sigma. And if r is greater than 1, so if r is less than 1, you will get that. If r is greater than 1, sigma will be greater than 0. Sigma will be greater than 0. And if r is equal to 1, then sigma is 0. Because see, when r is 1, r square minus 1 is 0. Means 1 square minus 1 is 0. So then what happens is, you will get a sigma value 0. Means the parameter real part becomes 0. Now for r is equal to 1, now what happens is, for r is equal to 1, omega, this one, omega means imaginary part. This omega is equal to, what it becomes? For r is equal to 1, I will remove this, erase this, then for r is equal to 1, for r is equal to 1, this imaginary part omega is equal to 2 by t 2 sin omega divided by 1 plus 1, r square is 1. So therefore 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 2 cos omega. It becomes, so for r is 1, this wherever r is there, just you substitute the r value, then you will get it. So now 2 by t, so this can be written as 2 sin omega divided by 2 into 1 plus cos omega. Like this. Now this is the relation what you will get, and this 2 will get cancelled. Then it is 2 by t sin omega divided by 1 plus cos omega. Now what to do is, so this is the omega value. Now what to do is, so we have to represent it in the required form. So what is the required form? So the required form is half angles form. 2 by t, 2 into sin omega by 2 cos omega by 2 divided by, so this 1 plus cos omega can be written as 2 cos square omega by 2, 2 cos square omega by 2. So now 2 by t, so this 1 cos omega by 2, another cos omega by 2 will get cancelled. Then what happens is sin omega by 2 divided by cos omega by 2. So therefore it is 2 by t tan omega by 2. So this is the relation between analog filter transfer function, means omega, variable omega, and means analog frequency, and this omega is a digital frequency. Now by manipulating the variables omega and this one and this, you can get other relation also. Now that relation is, so here omega t by 2, omega t by 2, so if you bring this t this side, gets multiplied and this 2 will get divided, tan omega by 2. Now you take the tan inverse operation on both sides, then what it becomes? Tan inverse omega t by 2 is equal to tan inverse into tan is a 1 only, so omega by 2, and this omega is equal to, right here, from this omega is equal to 2 times of tan inverse omega t by 2. Okay, this relation, digital frequency in terms of the analog frequency, and this is just both are same only. If you want to get the omega value from this analog frequency, you can use this relation, and this relation is important for us. And now we will see what happens for different values of this omega, means for different values of that analog frequency, what happens we will see, and what is the relation between this omega and analog frequency and digital frequency, we will see it. Okay, now just after this we will see that important point. Now we have the relation omega is equal to 2 by t tan omega by 2. Okay, so now this omega is the analog frequency and this omega is the digital frequency. Now we got the relation between analog frequency and digital frequency. Okay, so Now what we do is, so from this we try to understand what is the actual relation. So for smaller values, of omega, then what happens is tan omega by 2 is approximately equal to omega by 2. For smaller values of omega, so tan omega by 2 is nothing but omega by 2. So therefore, if you substitute this, because see why this is happening means for small values of theta, so since tan theta is equal to theta, approximately theta, for smaller values of theta, okay, for smaller values of theta. So using that relation we are saying, so tan omega by 2 is approximately equal to omega by 2. Now so therefore this analog frequency is equal to 2 by t digital frequency divided by 2. So from this omega is equal to, so this 2 will get cancelled, omega by t. So therefore, so omega is equal to, so analog frequency times of the capital T. Okay, this is the important relation between so digital frequency and analog frequency. Now what we do is, so this is what happens generally whenever if we map it, omega is equal to this analog frequency times the capital T is the sampling interval. Then what we have to do is, see this omega and next stage, which means for higher values of omega, for higher, because we are seeing lower frequencies, for higher values of omega, what happens is there is a non-linear effect. Now you see this omega linearly depends on this digital frequency omega, linearly depends on the analog frequency omega. But what we have assumed is tan omega by 2 is approximately equal to omega by 2. So therefore, for higher values, that is only for up to limited for smaller values. And for higher values of omega, what happens is you get a non-linear region. Okay, that effect is called wrapping effect. Okay, that is important. Wrapping effect. What is this? At higher frequencies, what happens is you will get a non-linear relationship between this analog frequency and digital frequency. This is analog frequency and this is a digital frequency. So therefore, that because it must be linear when you are converting analog frequency to digital frequency or analog transfer function to digital transfer function, it must be linear relationship. But as you increase the omega value, what happens is this relation goes to non-linear region. In that case, you will get a distortion. Okay, and the distortion is coming as a result of this wrapping. Okay, so now wrapping means for higher values of omega, relation between omega analog frequency and digital frequency, digital frequency becomes non-linear. Okay, becomes non-linear, which results in distortion distortion in the corresponding digital frequency. Okay, this effect is called wrapping effect. Okay, the relation looks like this. That relation, see, omega t, and y-axis it is digital frequency like this. Now what happens is, slowly as you are increasing this omega, this is the linear relation. See, for omega t is equal to 1, this is also 1. For omega 2 is equal to 2, it is also 2, like that. Linear. That linearity holds only for smaller values of omega. So suppose up to this point. Okay, after this, slowly it deviates from the linearity because of this tan omega by 2. So whenever it is deviating from the linear characteristics, there is a distortion is introduced in the digital frequency domain, because see, whenever it is linear, it is a 1 to 1. Suppose if it is 1, here also it is 1. If it is 2, here also 2. After that, what happens? After that, so even if you increase higher values of this analog frequency, there is no much increment. Suppose see, for this much amount, suppose if it is 5, so it is a smaller value, very small. And further if you go beyond that, then what happens is there is a non-linearity mismatching will be there, and that effect is called wrapping effect for the digital domain. So that is why to avoid this, what we have to do is we have to pre-wrap the analog filter. Okay, are you clear all of it? So omega is equal to 2 by t tan omega by 2. For smaller values of omega, this relation becomes omega digital frequency is equal to analog frequency times t. And whenever if we are varying this omega analog frequency, for smaller values of omega linearity holds, but however as you increase the frequency in analog domain, in the digital domain, then there is a non-linearity occurs, and because of that non-linearity, distortion is introduced. What is the distortion means? As you increase the omega value, and in the digital domain there is a small increment, even for large increment in the analog domain. That effect is called wrapping effect, and to eliminate that, we have to pre-wrap the analog filter transfer function. To avoid or to eliminate wrapping effect, what to do is, pre-wrap analog filter a transfer function. Okay, so this is the solution for that removing of or elimination of the wrapping the analog filter. Now, so this is a complete discussion about bilinear transformation, which is used to transform analog filter transfer function into a digital filter transfer function. Now we will see the procedure to design a digital filter from the analog filter transfer function. Okay, procedure to design digital filter from analog filter using bilinear transformation. Bilinear transformation. So first one, from given analog filter, transfer function determine pre-mapping frequencies using so analog frequency is equal to 2 by T tan omega by 2. Second one, using analog filter transfer function H of S, determine using given analog filter specifications, determine H of S. Okay, this is the analog filter transfer function. First, we have to find out the pre-mapped frequencies using this relation omega is equal to 2 by T tan omega by 2. After that, we have to formulate what is H of S. H of S means what? So you will be given specifications, analog filter specifications. From that analog filter specifications, we have to determine H of S. After this, substitute S is equal to 2 by T 1 minus Z inverse divided by 1 plus Z inverse in the H of S analog filter transfer function to get Hz. Okay, this is the procedure. Okay, 3 steps are there. First one, you will be given analog filter transfer function. Then from that you find out the pre-mapping frequencies, and using this formula omega is equal to 2 by T tan omega by 2. After that, you determine what is H of S. This H of S is analog filter transfer function. After calculating analog filter transfer function H of S, in that H of S function, H of S means it is a transfer function which will have some equations, and after determining that, just to substitute 2 by T 1 minus Z inverse by 1 plus Z inverse in the place of S, then you will get the Hz. Okay, Hz means it is a digital filter transfer function, and that is actually a procedure to convert any analog filter transfer function to digital filter transfer function using bilinear transformation. Only simple thing is, wherever S is there, just you substitute 2 by T 1 minus Z inverse by 1 plus Z inverse, and you simplify the equation, you will get Hz. So why you have to substitute this S is equal to 2 by T 1 minus Z inverse by 1 plus Z inverse means, so in the morning class we have seen how to get the what is this relation. Okay, so in this way we can convert HS to HZ and you can get the corresponding digital filter transfer function. In the next class we'll see some problems based on this bilinear transformation. Thank you.